That's fapodcastonline at gmail.com. That's right, fapodcastonline at gmail.com. If you have any questions, any news articles, there'll be a segment, Ask an Asshole, where you can just ask me questions and see, what a random fucking privileged white guy in his mid-20s in a beautiful country has got to say about things. Yeah. Fuck. There was one other news thing, was Bill Shorten and the marriage equality bill, which is brought in because Ireland, because we had Ireland who brought that in a couple of weeks ago. Everybody can get married. Fantastic. Go ahead. Like again, it's I'm of the old adage: who gives a fuck? It doesn't affect you. Like all the religious groups, yeah, whatever. Like fuck. If they're sinning, let them go to hell. They're not ruining your version of marriage. They just they just want to get married. Like let them fucking do it. Man to man, woman to woman, whatever. It's interesting. Like some of the going back to what I said before about the propaganda-esque shit, like with Bill Shorten introducing the bill, and there's not many people in Parliament. I remember reading like a comment about it saying, well, MPs or members of Parliament, whatever the fuck, I don't know the technical term, they don't have all day to just sit there and watch every bill come in. Like everybody goes in there, presents it, and then it gets raised or whatever the fuck the process is. But they're acting like it's a big deal. Like no one gives a fuck about marriage equality because Bill Shorten's introducing it. It's like, it's just another day. It's just another bill. Yes, it's important to people. That's fine. We can acknowledge that. But don't make it out to be more than it is, like that no one gives a shit. Like, stop fueling that fire. Like, there's always going to be something to just divide us further. There's going to be something to just piss us off. Like, it just makes me so angry to see it, to just see that sort of shit. And I remember what Tony Abbott said, like, it was a little news video thing. For someone who doesn't stay in the news, I've actually watched a fair bit of this shit. It's a shame about having time off work. You just wonder. He said, look, we're doing the small business thing, yada yada yada, like we're doing tax concessions, stimulate the economy. There's other more important pressing issues that we want to deal with right now. And people are like, Abbott hates gays. I'm like, well, don't misconstrue what he said, don't read into it. All he said is he's got other priorities at the moment. Like, take a step back, have a look. How many individuals in the country are running a small business or have, their stake in that sort of a thing? And then how many people are gay and want to get married? Like, as much as the media likes to fan up the flames, the homosexual population is quite minimal. When you look at it statistically, when you look at the numbers, they are like the minority of minorities. There are other things that the parliament might have as a priority, just in the sake of numbers, And I know right now, I could hear like one or two people being like, "You support Abbott, you bogan racist cunt." I know I'm a bogan racist cunt, but it's not because I support Abbott. It's just because I'm a bogan racist cunt. No, but looking at things logically does not mean you support one or the other. Like, yeah, good on Bill Shorten for introducing it. At least you've done something as opposition leader. Like, you've got nothing else. Like, in this budget, Abbott's moved to centre, and he's doing, some labourish things or more central things. So now Bill's like, fuck. what have I got on the table? Not much. Let them get married. You got to do something. So hats off to you for that. But don't get me wrong, Abbott's, he's done a really good spin this time around with this budget. Really, really good. In the sense that he's moved to centre, but he hasn't really publicly made aware. Like, you can look at it if you want to look at it, but I don't think it's actually on the main media broadcasts, is if you want these new measures to come in, so this childcare reform and this, it's actually attached to the old policies from last year where a lot of senators and stuff went, no, this doesn't make sense. Like he overshot and he's pulling back and saying, I'll give you a bit, but he still wants to have cuts overall. Be interesting to see how that goes in the Senate. If they put it through. Like, I going back further to what I said before about America and their debt crisis, yada yada. Yeah, we need to sort of control things a bit, because you don't want things to blow out of proportion where you can't pay it back, and then you have to have inflation, and then your currency's weak, and then your country goes to shit, and yada yada yada. You don't want to have all of that occur. So you need to keep things in line. It doesn't matter that you have a debt, but you just need to make sure that it's sustainable and that you're on the right path. Like, you don't, again, this budget emergency thing, we need to get back to $0 in 2 years. Not really. You just need to make sure you're on the up and up. You don't have to fuck everyone's day, but you need to make sure you're on the up and up. So